Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this session on the University Through Our Eyes webinar series. And of course, we've been having these conversations on helping students find like a balance, find themselves, and also discover certain areas that they might not have been paying attention to up until now. So we are just bringing to your knowledge and to your notice these things that would definitely come up as you move on in your student journey. So yet again, we have another another speaker, what a coach. Okay, I'm actually really hyped about this session because I want it to be as straight to the point as possible, but yet very impactful. So I'm really excited about this session, and I know that you are going to be transformed. So yeah, I always give like a background story. Welcome, our speaker. I can see you, but I want to do my introduction very well, then introduce you. Okay, so like a backdrop story or a background story to this is that I think in my 200 level, I got to know that if you are not taking yourself seriously, other people will not take you seriously. So you have to put in a lot of work in yourself, invest so much in yourself before other people would even see value in you. So you should be the first person to actually value yourself and put in so much work in yourself. So in my 200 level, that was like the first one of the discoveries I had in 200 levels, saying that you have to even put in a lot of work in as regards even finances, knowledge, and I mean knowledge generally, that you have to know something about everything to be excellent. And excellence is not just, or excellence is not just in academics, but if you would be termed an excellent person, you must be excellent at everything you set your hands to do. Everything that your hand finds to do, you should do it well. So I got to know that being a student, if we would call you excellent, excellent, yeah, and if your excellence would be global and not just in the sphere of the place you have been or the environment you are now, you have to start thinking global. Okay, how can I be in all aspects, in all spheres of life? How can I even portray excellence? How can I be excellent? How can I maximize the things that God has placed within me to even show the world, or to even show myself, and to make Jesus proud? And of course, that was like a call to take myself seriously. And that's why we are on this call today, because I think most times we don't discover on time, we don't discover early enough the meaning of excellence. We don't discover how broad it is, how it doesn't it's not streamlined. It's not for a particular aspect or a sphere, and then not for the other. You have to be excellent at everything to be truly termed excellent. So today we are talking about skills, talent, financial abundance. Yes, and this is the University Through Our Eyes webinar series. So join me to welcome our speaker, the coach himself. You know, when you say coach, is a coach. And I mean not just a coach on a particular aspect, but he's a life coach, and he has coached many people. Yeah, but let me give him the honors to even introduce himself. Hi, coach.
Okay. My God. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abiodun Oluwatobi. A soon-to-be doctor, 500 level University of Ibadan, and I'm so happy to be here tonight. Thank you so much. Um, should I call you Pastor?
Can join you anything.
Thank you so much, Immaculata, for this experience that you're going to give me and you're going to give every one of us. Thank you for the privilege. I do not take it for granted. I can't wait to start calling you barista. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. First of all, I want to apologize for where I am. It's because of the lightning. And I'm also taking this time to say I may be, intruded at one point or the other because I would have to do some other things in the process. But it's possible that I will not be. So yes, I'm hyped for today too because I'm sure your life will take a shift. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
thank you.
Coach Toby, for even this opportunity, like granting us this privilege from your very busy schedule.
Ah,
For your very busy schedule to have this conversation with us. And I know that, of course, you have done this several times.
you know
But
my boss now.
I'm really grateful. We are really grateful. So I think we should just jump right into the conversation.
All
And the first thing I would ask is, has there been any time in your, of course, I know you are still a student now. Hmm?
right. A senior student.
Okay, has there been any time that you just felt that being a student was, or the experience of being a student could be something more, that you can actually experience something more being a student? Like, has there been ever been a time where even as you are studying, as you are putting in the work academically, there has been a push for you to do something else, that like aside your studies, focus on something else?
Okay, yes, I've had many of those moments in my life. Let me just keep it very short and tell us one or two stories. Okay, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. So, you know, I when I got into school, first of all, I used to collect pocket money and everything. But it got to that point where I was in a leadership position in 100 level. I started, we had to put out many designs, many publications out there for people to know that, oh, we're having something like it was a fellowship. So, at that point, we started outsourcing and seeing that we needed to make flyers. That was what happened. And so at that time of my life, I discovered it was either I started making the flyer or I gave someone to do it. I was giving someone, but I discovered later that this person was just doing it because of love. I needed to also understand how to do this or give someone else who could do it because it was something we needed to pay for. At that time of my life, I started thinking, okay, what if I did this thing by myself? But that was just by the way. It did not get to me so much. So I started learning how to do it, but I never knew where that was going to take me. However, it got to that point where, I now started using that flyer that I started knowing how to do. I started using it to make some amount of money. So I was so happy. I started investing at a point when I got to at that point of my life, suddenly my parents just stopped giving me pocket money. We got home and it was not we were not receiving anything again because it was after 100 level. So I was like, okay, what do I want to do in my life now? Now that there's no pocket money, there is nothing. You have to buy data. Every one of us know that data is almost second to food. So I needed to get data. I did not have any money. I did not have anything. I started thinking. So it was while I was thinking about that little need of data, I discovered that there are about 5 areas of life. Should I continue?
Yes, the floor
All
is
right.
yours.
All right. So the 5 areas of life now, I discovered that the spiritual is very important. I discovered the financial is very important. I discovered the educational, the academic, or intellectual, whatever you call it. The health is very important, and also the relationship is very important. So at that time of life, I now started seeing that life can be even broken down into these different areas. Then I started getting serious about life. I started attacking life from, okay, what area of life is this? What area of life is this? What area of life is this? Then it was while I was trying to, attack the spiritual area, the financial area, I started seeing that even the academics cannot work alone without many of these areas of life. So should I okay, let me just continue. So, I've been faced with theft situations, where my place was boggled in school. And at that point, I started thinking because at that point, my hostel, my place was boggled. Not alone was my place boggled, my phone was stolen. Not alone was my phone stolen. At that same time, I lost every single money I had. Not only that happened, I moved away from that place, and then my laptop was stolen. Then I now discovered that, okay, this financial area I have to face is very, very squarely. Then it was around that time that I started maximizing financial. I started doing spiritual, I started doing relationship, because that had to do with leadership and many other things. But I started seeing that life is not just about your books only. You have to also merge many of these areas of life together to give you an actual whole life. All right. So those are the times that sparked my head, and I said, oh no, no, I have to do something.
Wow. Um, okay, I think just listening to you, I already like I'm thinking. So did this affect your academics positively or not? Your whole thought process. Now thinking, oh, I have to be more particular about finances. Did it affect your academics positively?
Okay. Positively, it did,
Yeah.
and negatively, it also did. The thing is, at every single time of life, when you start something new, many of the times it will look as though you cannot balance it. But I want you to understand that at every point of life where you want to start something new, there is always capacity either in you or around you that can give you expression. So if you begin to check this woman that the prophet Elisha began to meet, or that he met, her husband had died, he left debt, he left bills somewhere. And then the woman was, she was telling the prophet, oh prophet, we don't have anything, we have debts here and all that. And at that point of life, the prophet asked her, he said, what do you have? The woman said, we have nothing. We have nothing. And as the prophet asked again, she now said they have nothing but a bottle of oil. That's what I will call it now. A bottle of oil. And the prophet said, okay, no, no, Wala, just get extra vessels, and then we are going to fill it up. And when the woman saw that she had sons, when the sons came, they got extra bottles, they began to fill all these things up. And then we realized in the story that the scripture says that when these guys brought in the vessels, they began to fill the oil, and they began to fill the vessels. And then in the middle, you see in that scripture that the scripture talked about how that the woman said, okay, they should bring the next vessel, and they said, oh, the vessels are finished. Then the scripture said the oil stopped flowing. That scripture really caught my. I'm going to go back to the question. That scripture caught my heart because I discovered that not only did that woman have
No, we can't hear you anymore. Oh, but that was just a very powerful illustration he was trying to put there, and ah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it because he's talking about you being prepared for the new, and I can just see from that illustration he's giving how that they they had to get these vessels to even fill it up, to get the blessings that they were supposed to get out of that. And it's a preparation into the new, stepping into the new. And I know that he was trying to point something out from that illustration. And of course, we are waiting for him to come back to drop that word. Yes, I was talking about how that this series and this session in particular is very important to us. Yes, he's back. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. I'm so sorry for the break. I'm so sorry for the break.
no
Okay,
problem.
yes. So, as I was saying, they discovered that not only did they have the vessels that they could borrow from their neighbors, they did not just have bottles and vessels, they had a bottle of oil, they had, the woman had children, they had eyes, they had legs they could use, they had, when you begin to look into your life, you will see that you have the capacity for any single thing that you want to, delve into. So, from this illustration, we can also put it in our lives and say, okay, I can actually do anything I wish to do or anything I want to do if only I can, find a way to balance all these things. Many of these things will require that you learn time management. Many of these things will require that you learn all these things. But eventually, I saw that while I was trying to do other things, I was a little bit, it looked like I was a little bit affected. But it got to that point where I now started learning how to balance life, how to balance my academics, how to balance spirituality, how to balance every of these things. How? Because I began to learn certain principles like time management. I began to learn certain things like, how do I call it now? When you tell someone else to, do something on your behalf, by delegating now, sorry. I began to learn how to delegate. I began to learn leadership. I began to also learn speed reading at a point. I read an entire book on speed reading because I knew that the amount of time I had left, for myself was not so much. So I needed to do so many things, not so many things actually, but some specific things and at a particular period of time. So I began to learn every single thing I needed to learn to be able to function in that capacity. So I would say positively, it helped me because I've been able to also teach these things to people and they're already having their own first class and they're still doing other things. They are doing well in their academics. However, I've also seen in my life that at that point, I had to also, it was like I was going down, but while I was going down, I began to shoot up again after learning. Every single thing we want to achieve in life is at the other side of knowledge. Once you get the knowledge to do things, you'll be able to do it accurately. So let me add this also. Sorry. Let me also add this. If you are afraid to fail, you will never succeed. Or let me say this. If you are afraid to fail and you don't step out in spite of that fear, you will not succeed. Because every child learns to walk by walking and falling down and standing up and walking. If you don't fall down and stand up, you will never learn how to walk. You will become a person who cannot walk, but you will have legs. You have the capacity. If you do not, put yourself under pressure for that capacity to begin to form and to form into full, potentials, you are not going to see yourself, actualizing every single thing you desire.
Wow. I'm just trying to put everything together. But I think if you're on this call right now, there should be some reactions. I'm just seeing these comment sections being like, it's just there. What's going on? Let's drop our comments and our questions as the session is going on so that our coach will take these questions. So from what you just said now, while the call was off, I spoke to preparing for the new, because that's what you actually started with. How that in preparing for the new, you have to even know that you have the capacity to do these things. So when you know that you have the capacity, you have been given the capacity, then you start putting in the work to even fully express this capacity that you have been given. So I want to ask, like, I think bringing it back to the university environment, do you think that the university environment is such a good place to find opportunities, like, and explore skills and talents, and just find ourselves? Do you think the school environment, and tell me why, please?
Okay, thank you so much. I really, really feel like the university environment is the best place for anyone who wants to actualize purpose and destiny and to fulfill all these things to start from. I'm going to give us about 4 stages of life that every single person is going to go through. And those 4 stages of life are very, very important, because if we don't go through those 4 stages of life, we're not truly going to actualize purpose. All right. So, but before I even go into those 4 stages, let me just say this. Now, the university environment is the place where you are supposed to actually test things. Let me just give us a very, very good African scenario. The honest truth of life is that, when you're starting up, you're in the secondary school, you are doing all those things. When you come into the university stage, the reason why many of us are going to the university is to learn something that can make us money. Let's stop deceiving ourselves and think that what you are going to the university to do is to learn a skill. But while you are learning that skill, you need to understand that you are learning that skill for a particular, purpose, because you actually want to become someone that can feed a family, that can feed a nation, that can help, communities and whatever. Now, when you are going into the university, everybody is expecting when you come back, when you come out of this place, you are going to become someone that everybody already wants to receive from. Your parents are investing in your life because most times they want to receive. The community is seeing you going into those places because they know that when you are back, my God, Immaculata is back now. Everybody will start greeting you, hey, graduate. The reason why we are going into the university is to learn. The university is such a place where we are supposed to go and develop ourselves and then get reasonable skills for our lives. So I feel like university is even the best place. If possible, the secondary school. If possible, if you can start as early as secondary school, then I believe that you are going to do well when you get into university to also sharpen yourself, because in the university you'll be exposed more to associations. At that point of your life, you are going to be seeing destiny friends. In the university, you're also going to be seeing, when you are, for instance, if you want to sell something, one of the easiest places to sell is the university. You will not see anybody for positions that will not visit the university. So the university is such an important place. It's like the center of everything. The university is a place where a particular age group is, and that particular age group is the age group for exploration. So I feel like the university truly is the place where everybody should start from and should do well at.
Because you know why I asked that question is that most times people get so scared to learn the things that they are supposed to learn in the university environment because probably they don't feel up to the task. That even leads me to my next question. In all of these, because there are books on growth mindset, fixed mindset, and all of that. And of course, having a growth mindset is telling you. Of course, you spoke about capacity already. Having capacity, you have the capacity, and having a growth mindset will let you know that whatever you need to learn to be at the place you need to be has already been given to you, and you can learn it. You have the ability to learn it. So I'll just like to ask that you elaborate on that point, having a growth mindset even as a student, because I also, like, I have my own experiences of not thinking that I was able to combine everything together and learn everything at once, because of course you have your studies to face, and there's a part of focus on what you are doing, but is like I said, excellence is it's such a whole word.
All right.
So I thought you speak and elaborate on the points that students need to develop a growth mindset.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, I think I would start with the fact that there are two things everybody should know. Number one is that you need to go all in. Number two is that you need to go all out. Going all in means understanding who you truly are and who you can be. Then going all out means taking enough risk on your capacity so that the world can see the things that God has done in you and then benefit from it. So if we begin to look at these two things, you see that these are the things that encompasses growth. Growth truly starts from within. Every single tree or whatever that you see growing was first planted. It first started as a seed. So I would say that there are two sets of mindsets. The first one is the fixed mindset or the scarcity mindset. The second one is the abundance mindset. The fixed mindset is such that, people do not believe in themselves, or that people are not able to even place so much of pressure on. I would say even pressure can be positive. Do you know that? Now, people are not able to put themselves under pressure so that something good can come out of them. I would also say that for you to, have an abundance mindset, these are many, many things you need to do. Number one is that you need to understand who you truly are. How do you know who you truly are? Number one, go through coaching sessions, something like this now. Anybody listening to this will already understand that, yes, this is something that I can work on. This is something I can do. I would have also loved to even, take a test so that, but because of our time, we may not be able to do that. Number one is that you need to expose yourself to things that will help you. Many of the things that are happening from your within are many things you have exposed yourself to from without. Almost, do you know that everybody was born with a brain like this, like a cup, with a mind like this, like a cup? Every child started young. Every child was a person that was explorative. Many of us just, eventually learned the mindset we have. Do you know that both abundance mindset and scarcity mindset was learned?
Mm-hmm.
Both abundance mindset and scarcity mindset was learned. And naturally, everyone came in to this world with an abundance mindset. I will teach practically now. When you see a child, when a child sees fire, the child wants to put his hand inside fire. When you see a child gets to a rooftop, the child just wants to jump down. The child wants to check, he wants to try everything. When we tell a child that, oh, I'm going to get you this, the next day the child is going to remind you that, oh, you told me that you are going to get me this. So every child was born without fear. We were only trained to be fearful. Every single person on earth was actually trained to be who they are by the things that they exposed themselves to. This is the reason why, for anything that has to do with your mind was first like a cup. Every mindset you have today was a mental programming. Every single thing that you are currently, seeing as a result came as a result of the things that you have in this your mental capacity, in this your mind, I mean. Now, I would say that if anybody wants to change or reconstruct his mind from scarcity to abundance, that person needs to begin to expose himself to information, because information is exactly what makes the difference. However, action is also involved. But now we're even talking about the mindset. For your mind to be reoriented, I mean, you need to change the things that you take in. You need to expose yourself to quality materials. You need to expose yourself to quality training. You need to expose yourself to things that will move you forward. This is why you need to begin to reject, and you need to begin to protect your mind from every single thing that will make you think small. And this starts from now. Anybody you see, I've read a lot about millionaires, I've read a lot about billionaires. Let me just tell you a story of a man. He was going to graduate from the university, and then he was telling his friends, he was like, guys, before the age of 24, before the age of 25, I'm going to become a millionaire. That was what, before the age of 30, he was going to become a billionaire. This was something he was telling every of his friends, a billionaire, sorry. This was what he was telling every of his friends before, he left school, because they were telling him, what will you become in the next 5 years? He said, well, before the next 5 years, I'm going to become a billionaire. That was 30. He became a billionaire at the age of 28. I began to do research on Dr. Cosmas Maduka. He was telling his mom that at the age of 18, he was going to stay in a 3-bedroom flat that is going to rent. At the age of 20 or something, he was going to marry. At the age of that was 25, something like that, he was going to become a billionaire. And his mom was like, people are like, these things are not possible. These things are not possible. Do you know what? What affects many persons in life is that they listen to people who do not have the result they seek, and they put the things that those people said in their minds. Meanwhile, you look at the person's life and you see that this person does not have the result I seek. Yes, you are taking the person's, words seriously. Look at the people you listen to. Do they have the results you seek? If they don't have the results you seek, then don't put all your mind listening to them. Begin to check and reroute the things you are listening to, and listen to people that already have achieved the things you want to achieve. Even if they are stopping you, change them too. So I would say that most of the things we have in our minds, our mental construct, are the things that we expose our ears to, are the things we expose our eyes to, are also the things we see. Because scripture says that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Now, how do you even know what's in your heart? Scripture says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the words of God. Now, the scripture also says that as far as your eyes can see, can you see how these senses also lead to the mind? So I would actually advise anybody who wants to change his mind to begin to change the quality of things that he or she listens to. What books are you reading? Who are the people you talk to on a daily basis? Who are the people you listen to on a daily basis? If the people you listen to on a daily basis are still the people that are on the low side of life, then you will not do well. Listen to me. Let me tell you something. This is the irony of life. You cannot listen to just one person and think that your life will be fully formed. Let me give you an example. For instance, I'm a first class student, but I don't believe in prosperity. You listen to me, I will tell you that you need to read, because if you don't study your books, you will fail. Don't chase after money. Don't do anything that has to do with money. You will not see. All you need to face is I have a lecturer that will tell me that anything someone who is reading cannot. I looked at his life and I said, is this what I want to be like? No, this is not what I want to be like. Then I began to listen to people that believe that you can read and also prosper. So you need to learn how to merge people's beliefs and construct your own, so that someone else in the future can feed from your wealth of wisdom. You cannot live listening to only one person. You have to see the issues that one person has, run away from it, go and listen to another person who has strength in that area, so that you can also form your life. That's why people say, not like Aposema will say, I'm a product of many graces. The reason is because he has listened to people who are strong on different areas of life together, and he has now become one. He has already formed his own psychological beliefs. I don't know if I'm answering the question.
Yeah, you are.
So I would say that for a person who wants to help his mind, the person should, be careful about what the person believes. And for you to be careful about what you believe, you have to be careful about what you listen to, what you see. This is why many billionaires don't listen to news. It's sad, but I discovered I've not seen anyone. Every one of them will tell you that it's only bad things they see. They don't listen to news because they are not ready to listen to bad things. They will tell you that they are listening to positive things because their mental construct has to be positive. Oh, so that already taught me that if I'm in class and someone is talking about negative things like everybody cannot pass this course, I don't listen to that kind of person. I go back again and listen to the word of God that says that anything I lay my hands upon will prosper. So if I see someone who is doing well in class, but the person is telling me that no, he can't combine school with money, I leave the person and go and face someone again who can talk about something that has to do with financial abundance. I merge the two and I become someone who is academically sound and who is financially sound, who has a good relationship. You see some people that they are financially sound, they are academically sound, but every of their relationship, they don't have a relationship with anybody. I leave them again at that point of relationship, and I go for someone who has quality relationship and ask, what are the things you listen to? How did you become what you become? When you see a success, begin to ask, how did they become the things they became? You can never hear them talking about something and they will not talk about what you believe, because your life stems from what you believe. He says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You are just what you think about. So you cannot just be thinking. Thoughts don't just arise. They arise from the things that you have heard before, or the things that you have seen before, or even the things you are saying. Because as you say it again, you'll be hearing it. And thoughts and words are also things. I don't know how to put all these things together in one, but I hope someone is just getting something.
Yes, like I'm even like I'm still trying to it's just so mind blowing. Do you know why? Okay, let me even say why. Because as a student, there are so many limitations, even with the opportunities, there are so many limitations. Because of course we are focusing on our studies, but there's also this subtle distraction to even start focusing on other things, like other people's journey, even other things that are not so tangible. So we find out that after studies, it's that yes, we focus on our studies, but even as we were focusing on our studies, we are not focusing on the things that mattered. We're not particular about improving ourselves for the next phase after school. So I'm just looking at it and how that people will be delivered by even listening to this, that you are not you may face these limitations, but you are not limited. You are not limited.
Amen.
if you can see yourself the way you should see yourself, you would begin to understand how much value you have on your inside, and put it to work. So I wanted to ask and I still want to ask a question on excellence. I want to ask on how you define excellence. And because I already said, for me, I feel excellence is so broad a word. Like, it's not, there are ways that people paint excellence, and I'm like, excellence is broad. And I feel we kind of make excellence look local. It looks homey when people it looks vague, or I can't even explain. But we make it sound little than it is. Because when you say excellence, it's such a big word. And I feel for you to even enter into excellence, like into that word of excellence, you must have shown over time through track records and even in various phases that yes, I stand as someone who is excellent and someone who is a person of wisdom in every aspect. Wherever I am called, I am a person of wisdom. So yeah, I want you to help us define excellence for a student. What excellence should look like for a student, because someone going into school now is thinking, oh, I am a fresh student. I'm a first year student, and I just want to go into school to be excellent. So when you say I want to be excellent, what should they think about?
Hmm. That question is deep. Oh. Like you said, excellence is a very, very broad word. Um, I would say excellence is playing to the best of your capacity. Excellence is playing to the best of your capacity. That's what I'll call. Can you still hear me? Okay, let me just continue. So I'll say excellence is playing to the best of your capacity, and excellence is using every resource you have at the moment to arrive at the best results you can possibly think of. And this is the reason why I will also say that every single person defines what his own excellence is. Because excellence to someone in the village is not the same thing as excellence to someone in the city. So when you're going into school, I would also say that you need to begin to change your mind construct. For instance, if excellence to you was, for if your CGPA now extends to 5.0, if excellence to you is having a 4.5, and you see someone who has a 4.9, and then you see another person who has a 5.0, that means that excellence does not mean 4.9 again, it means 5.0. So you need to understand that the highest or the peak of anything is excellence. So when you're talking about excellence in school as a student, I would say that being the peak at every single thing you do relative to the potential you have, because you actually have enormous potential. You can achieve the best of things in the world. You need to believe that. So once you believe that you can achieve the best of things in the world, excellence is achieving the best of that thing that you can achieve. So that is exactly what I will call excellence. I'm not sure if everyone can still hear me. If you can still hear me, please say something on the comment section. If you can still hear me, say something in the comment section, please. All right, so I think we should just continue defining excellence. I also think that another school of thought I would ask you to buy out from, or to buy from, is that excellence means being at the peak of these 5 levels, especially from my own point of view of the world. You may have your own point of view, but excellence means doing well spiritually. Excellence means succeeding financially. Excellence means also succeeding academically. intellectually, your mind construct, your mental construct. Excellence also means doing well um in your health and then in your relationships. I'm so sorry, I think it took you out.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
network.
You can
Okay,
just
so I'll
continue.
finish answering the question.
Okay, I didn't get that. Just give me a summary.
All right. Just what I will do for you now is you watch the replay.
Can you imagine?
All right. So I was saying that excellence means playing at the best of your potentials or at the highest level of anything possible. That's what I would call excellence. So I would say that as far as anyone can think, that as far, whatever it is excellence. Because every single person has to define what his own success is. However, you must be so careful not to define your own success as something little. So anything anybody has achieved and much more is what excellence is.
Hmm. I think that's
However,
super.
everybody defines what his own excellence would be because everybody eventually will have to define it. God has already given us the power of choice. So what anyone chooses as his own excellence is what excellence is. Anything anyone chooses as his own success is what success is. But relative to God's standard, the highest of everything, because He has given us all that pertains to life and godliness, the highest
Mhm.
of everything possible is excellence.
That's just so powerful. So I would just like to ask because I want us to help someone here specifically. Do you do something else aside studies?
Okay, yes, I do many things. I do many things
Oh, best.
apart from studying. All right, should
So
I mention them?
yes, yes.
Okay, so apart from studying, I I would call myself a coach. I coach people, I mentor people, and they are more like two different things now for me. They are more like two different things for me. Mentoring
Mm,
people many times is just free, but coaching people would require that you pay a price to get coached. So I do those two things. However, I also do graphic design, right? I'm a graphic designer. Then
mm,
I would call myself a marketing expert at the moment because currently I'm learning how to market. I discovered that nothing would be sold if you don't also learn how to sell. So one of the things I've developed myself so much in is that I'm learning how to sell. I'm learning how to sell in such a way that I want to be able to transform an entire nation's economic, value by just stepping in for 1 hour.
mm.
Yes. So I'm learning that at the moment.
So what's your advice to someone who is in school, who is a student, and wants to also do all of these things or even more?
Okay, my advice to someone like that, I'll still go back again, is to discover who you are, discover your potentials. Because not everybody will be interested in sales, like I just said. Not everybody will be interested in mentoring people, like I just said. However, you have to discover your own self. And I'm going to ask for your permission to give 9 questions everybody can use to discover themselves. 9
Of
solid
course.
questions. All right. So number one, what questions do people always ask you? What questions do people always ask you? This is one of the ways you can use to discover yourself. Number two is what painful experience have you overcome? The reason is because for you to discover yourself, there are 3 things that you will need. Number one is your gift. Number two is your skill. Number three is your experience. These are 3 things people always use to play big in life. If you cannot play on your experience, you must be able to play on your gift. If you cannot play on your gift, you must be able to play on your skill. But if you can play on these 3 at the same time, you cannot go stranded. Now, number 3 is what exciting goal have you ever achieved? What exciting goal have you ever achieved or you are willing to achieve? Number 4 is what tools do you know how to use well? When I say tools, I mean something like, phone. I mean something like armor, something like whatever it is. Because I've discovered recently that people who play big in life on their potentials are not just people who came to learn something big. Many of them started with the little things. And as you're playing on those little things in the highest way you can, all of a sudden, those compounded things will just eventually become something big that someone will be looking forward to being like. So number 5 is, what do you spend so much time researching on? This is how to know your potential. The things that pain you, the things that bring you pleasure. Number 6 is, what software? Because in this age, you need to understand the softwares you can use. But that does not, it has a point or something to do with it, but it's not the entire thing. There are 9 questions, so don't just think about this number 6. What software or application do you know how to use very well? Number 7 is, what skill have you learned? Number 8 is, what exclusive information do you have? For instance, I know how to slap a person without his teeth removing. It's an exclusive information. It's an exclusive information. However, just think about that. What I just said now is not about slapping people. What I said now is not about slapping people. Think about it. Number 9 now is, what do people come to you for advice on? These are 9 things you can use to discover who you are or your potential. Your potential. Now, I want to get the question again, so I'll continue from there.
Okay. Okay, so we are sorry. Hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you.
So can you hear me now? Oh, so we are
Yes, I can
asking
hear you
for
now.
advice, your advice
Okay,
to
yes. So, all right, thank you. I remember now. So, my advice to people, number 1 is, develop or discover your potential. Discover your potential. Number 2, develop your potential, and at least for that time, be so selfish that you care so much about your potential. Many persons don't know that for you to grow, you need what we call focus. Not just focus, insane focus. Insane focus. Number 3, I would say, develop your discipline. See, you need to go and learn how to get disciplined. And discipline means telling yourself what to do and doing it. That's the meaning of discipline. So develop a level of discipline, because as you begin to work on whatever you're supposed to work on, there will be so many distractions. So both focus and discipline should keep you in check. Now, the next thing I will also say is, find someone who is where you are going and follow the person's instructions. Because there are always people who are going to hand over the baton to you, and you must follow them. You must follow them. The truth is that Baba Adeboye will go to be with the Lord soon. He's going to hand over the baton to someone on earth. These are things that happen over and over again. For everybody that lives or that exits a very, very important place in life, someone else must come and, take the baton. So find mentors, find coaches who can coach you into what you need to become for your life, for your generation, for God. And another thing I would like to tell you is, if you do everything without God, you'll be confused. It will look like you're hustling. Because at the end of the day, you will not be able to get any balance. He's the one that created you. He's the one that knows why he created you. As a matter of fact, everyone cannot exist without God. I would like to also leave you with this. And say that when God created man, he said this was very good. He did not just say good. Now, in the book of Genesis chapter 1, I think verse 26 or 28 now, he said, many people used to say be fruitful and multiply. No, scripture did not say be fruitful and multiply. I'm coming back to this seed because this seeding impact initiative. All right. Now, scripture did not just say be fruitful and multiply. Scripture says, and he blessed them. That blessing already shows you that there is capacity. Many of you think that because I told you about borrowing capacity, it's true that at some point in life you need to borrow capacity. That's where we talk about mentors, coaches, listening to things, conditioning your environment. However, God has given you capacity too, and you need to recognize it. So God has blessed you and is asking you now that you should be fruitful, because there is a seed on your inside that will bear fruit. There's a seed on your inside that will bear fruit. And when you are fruitful, don't forget also that you need to multiply. Don't forget that when you are multiplying, you need to replenish the earth. God has not called you to just be silent only. You need to step out. I want to give you one last formula. It is called the be, do, and have formula. You cannot have if you don't do anything. And you can never do anything if you don't become someone who can do it. Almost everything we have been saying this morning now boils down to these three things. You can never have something if you don't do something. And you can never do something if you don't become the kind of person that can do it. Always work on your mind. And don't neglect your spirit.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm not done. I don't even know. If you're rounding off, I don't understand. But this is my last question because
No, it's
I,
fine.
I
You can go ask 1,000 more. Ah,
as you were answering the question, like I was just thinking at a point because I know how it can be so difficult to leave your comfort zone as a student. Like you might want to just linger in the comfort zone, like stay there and not even allow anybody know about what you are doing. Like most times we even know, like there's that nudging in your heart that, oh, I need to take up this course, I need to study this thing, I need to speak to this person, I need to have start building this thing now. As a student it comes as nudgings, but sometimes you're just like, I can't really put in the work right now. So the question is just, of course, for you to speak to people stepping out and doing the things that they are called to do. And then I would ask a second question. So that's stepping out and doing the things they are called to do, stepping out from their comfort zone and doing the things they are called to do. And then the second one is which is, of course, I'm just putting my last questions together. And the second one, which is for you to also speak to people who have you know there's this thing about this myth that students are are not supposed to be wealthy, and any student that is wealthy is not a focused student. And I just want you to speak to that, like, because that's also a fixed mindset. Because I feel if you already have that mindset, that thought in your heart, you can't even step out from your comfort zone in the first place, because you'd be like, any effort I make, it's into futility. Like it can't yield results at all. And I know the beautiful thing about growth, how that if you are even growing on your mind, you are growing on the things that you have, the things that you do, the things that you have will indeed multiply. So yeah, that's actually a beautiful principle that our speaker gave us, and I wrote it down. If you're on this call and you are not writing, I don't really know. And if you're also on this call and you have not commented, we have not seen you in this comment section, I don't understand. And if you have not also asked any question, time has already gone, you can't take it, but of course you can still drop it. We'll see if we can do just a few minutes. Yeah, so I already asked my two last questions. So anybody, any fastest fingers, if anybody drops the a question, the first question will take it.
all right. Okay. Thank you so much for the questions. Thank you so much for the questions. Okay. So I want to answer those questions now. Number one, I want to tell you 7 principles to moving forward from wherever you are. And these 7 principles, I think, will answer every question you just said now. But you can still keep your questions coming in, okay? These principles will also be my book coming up. Very soon. All right.
Hey.
Also watch out for her book because I'm sure she's putting something, she's documenting something. All right. So number one, I want to say is stop waiting for permission.
Hmm.
Stop waiting for permission. Many persons, the issues they have is that they are waiting for permission. They are waiting for someone to tell them to do it. They are waiting for someone else to tell them to do what God has already asked them to do.
Hmm.
Or maybe I think I've talked about the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset. So I'll just continue to talk on this because I believe that every person has listened to that particular part already has an abundance mindset. I think I should start from that because you see this abundance mindset, but every single person needs to have it. Let me be raw. You can't move forward in life without having abundance mindset. Oh. You can't move forward. My own question for you will be, why did you come to school? If you are going to school, I know that you are going to school because you want to become something in life. If you wanted to be broke in life, you would have not come to school. The reason why you are going to school is because you want to be rich. It's because you also want to have an impact on the world. Now, if that's not the only reason you are coming to school, if that's not why you are coming to school, maybe you are coming to school because your parents want you to come to school. Good. Your parents want you to come to school because they want you to be successful in life. So you need to understand that this mindset of, I must finish school before I do something with my life. I must finish school before I do. I want you to know that there are people that did not go to school and are doing something with their life. If you now finish coming out of this school and you're not doing something with that same life that you went to school for how many years for, you discover that you have failed a generation. Listen to me. School is not a promise that you will make it. I need to be this raw. School is not a promise that you will make it. I was going for a video one day and a bike man carried me. And while we were in the bike, the man was just, okay, it was my friend. And while they were in the bike, the man was just telling her, do you know I studied law? Do you know I studied law? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. This is a coincidence now that you are a law student. And the man said, I've done law for so many years. I studied law for so many years. I've been looking for work. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. The reason why the man is like that is because he does not have privileged information. Many persons are who they currently are today. I'm sorry for the background noise now. Many people are who they are today because they think that it is when they come out of school, immediately a job is waiting for them. Let me tell you the truth. The country is not planning for your excellence. The country is not planning for your success. In fact, the earth is not planning for your success. It is you who will take your success and ensure that it is established. You need to understand this thing. Many people understand it late. Many people understand this thing late. A friend called me recently and said, thank you so much for all you are telling us. Now we have graduated, we are now understanding the things you are telling us. I was like, you see, these things are real. And that's why I will tell you again that go and read books. Expose yourself to people who are doing well. You discover that this age you are celebrating, many persons were there before and they were successful at that age. Dr. Cosmas eventually told us that he made his first $1 million when he was 23. And I asked myself that, Jesus, how old am I? The reason why he made that mark at that stage was because he set a goal. If you set the goal that is until you leave school that you will do well, that's when you will do well. That's when you will do well. If you set a goal that you will have first class or you focus on only your academics, I'm telling you, you will have a first class, but I'm sorry to tell you also that you may not do well financially. As a matter of fact, if they increase your school fee and your parents cannot make it, I'm telling you, you will drop out. You need to understand that the universe works based on the things that we cooperate on, based on the kind of energy, the vibration we release. If you believe that people will hate you, I'm telling you there will be no magic, but people will just begin to hate you. I'm telling you that if you believe that poverty is the is the situation of everybody around you. You just be seeing poor people here and there, here and there. They'll be validating the fact that it's true, all students are poor. But when you believe that I can make it at this particular time, everybody that needs to make it, that needs to make that goal happen for you, will begin to come around you. Especially if you are very, very rugged about that goal. I'm speaking to every student here today, and I'm saying, please change your mindset. People make it at it, and this is the easiest generation to be able to make it from the gutter at any point of time, at any point in time, because we all have the internet at our fingertips. This is the only generation that I've seen that can easily make it in life because they have information at their fingertips. Those days, people who wanted to succeed will go to the library and read for many hours. Now you can download a PDF and have access to wealthy information. I have discovered that it's familiarity with this information that has now made many people broke and poor. And they eventually now, they don't do many things with their life at a very, very early stage. Because then, after you have spent so much of money to go to the library, you spent so much of money to access the books, you now got the book, tell me you're not going to implement. You will implement those things. But now because you are in this show, you didn't pay now. You didn't pay. It was after I paid for so many things in my life, and I saw that, information is the key to wealth. So I'm telling you guys, that this thing you're having for free, thanks to, let me just call you Pastor Hima. Thanks to Pastor Hima, sincerely, you are receiving these things, but don't belittle them. Because when you pay for a conference, these are the same things you will get. Focus, goal setting, vision, buy my book, or buy a book. Those are the same things you will get. I'm sorry, it's already dark. It's already dark here. All right, so let me just continue. I think I've answered the question of abundance mindset. So guys, you can do well as a student. I made my first. I don't want to shout because I'm at home.
Please shout.
All right, let me stop there. But you know, anytime someone says I made my first, you know what follows, right? So I did that about 7 months after I made up my mind. Let me tell you my story a little. When I started studying mindset, when I started understanding it, and I saw that, okay, what has been limiting me since all these days is because I believed that I needed to save my pocket money to make this. I'd always believed that, okay, I can become a millionaire. But my belief was that, I needed to save my pocket money. So I was saving. I'd been saving since secondary school, just to hit this goal. I eventually lost everything inside Ponzi. I told you. I did Ponzi scheme. I had even calculated. You need to see my goal setting. I calculated my Ponzi scheme money that, okay, if I withdraw, then I invest, then I withdraw, then I invest. I calculated how I'll become a millionaire that year until they took everything. I could not cry. So eventually I had to say, so this is not the way to wealth. I started studying, getting access to quality information. Then later I now saw that, okay, there should be another way. So as I began to get access to information, I saw things that I could do within my potential. Then as I began to do those things, it was not long before I started seeing those things work. Begin to go after quality information and you will get it. You will get it. So let me not say so much of stories. But the truth is that it was after I hit a down point in life, I started applying the information I've been learning, the things I've been learning. I started learning more. The faster you learn, the faster you act, the faster you succeed. The faster you learn and act, the faster you succeed. All right? Yes. So let me continue now. These are 7 principles I think I know would keep you moving forward. Do we still have time?
Yes, you can go because I'm even waiting for the 7 things. I've written the first one. Stop waiting for permission.
So the first one is never wait for permission. The only person that should permit you for success should be you. You should be your major permission. The honest truth is that even if everybody does not believe in you, go and check out billionaires. That's why I'm saying I have access to information. Nobody believes them. If you can believe it, is enough. is enough. People will call you crazy. People will make fun of you. People will do all those things. But let me tell you the ways, the channel, the pattern. I'm sorry, I will tell you all these things. Number one is that people will make fun of you. The next thing that will happen is that people will start asking you when you start having results, how did you do it? How did you do it? Then the next thing is that people start saying, I knew that guy now. When you were starting, I knew that guy. Will you be the person, my question now, who is saying I knew that guy, or you be the person who people are saying they know?
Or you be the guy.
Or you be the guy. Are you seeing what I'm saying now? So number one is that the person who everybody is talking about, that they know, gave himself permission. Scripture says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. People may not believe you, but you need to believe yourself. Now, number two is that when you start gaining momentum, because I know there are many persons listening now and they are saying, okay, from what this person is saying, then I will apply it. I've been reading this book, I've been reading that thing, I want to do this. Okay, now when you start gaining this momentum, keep it. Don't stop it. Because many people start and they do not continue. This has happened to me many times. Because you get to a stage where, things will choke you up. Make sure that at those stages where things are choking you up, those are your tight times. But make sure that at those points, you are getting stronger. It is as you get stronger that the things will bow. It is as you get stronger that the things will bow. These are the lessons we need to learn from the ants. They keep the momentum until they are done, building that stuff they will hide in, the food also that they will get in the summer. All right, so let me continue. So, number 3 is protect your confidence. Protect your confidence. Protect your confidence. Your confidence is the greatest gift you have. Your confidence is the greatest gift that you have. Number 4 is model those who are already doing what you want to do and do it. I've said this thing like 4 times now. If you don't listen to this instruction, you will just be guessing. Life can really happen to you, and you will know that the way I'm going in this life, I'll be successful. I know I'll be successful. The reason why I know I'll be successful is because the people I'm following, they are giving me instructions and directions, and I'm following it. What do you want to be? Find who is there. Follow the person like a fool. Are you getting it now? What number are we now?
The fifth one.
All right. Number five is schedule it. Schedule it. Anything you have told yourself to do. I told you that I'm going to be releasing my book very soon. And once I put a date to it, your brain, your mind, and even God will begin to work with that date for you. Scripture says that God looked at the tower that they were building and he said, nothing can withhold these guys from what they have set their hearts to do. Always schedule it. Tell people that thing you want to do. Tell people. Let me tell you how I started my first course. I told people, watch out for this time, this day, we are going to be releasing this. Sincerely, I had not done anything. In fact, a day before that day, I had not really done anything. But immediately I put a time to it. At least that day, people that had paid, I needed to do something. So guys, put your mind to put a time. And it was so successful. Put a time. If you did not put this meeting by this time, how will we have this meeting? If you did not go ahead and say, oh guys, we are going to be having this meeting by this time, how will we be having it? Many persons want to be perfect from the beginning. The truth is that the only perfect people are dead people. The only perfect people are dead people. You will never be perfect. This thing we are doing now, you can see this place is dark. It's because there's no perfection there. If you like, go to the best one, the best conference you will find. You will still see one fault if you look for it. Stop waiting to be perfect before you set out to do what you need to do. Just schedule it. Put a time to it. And put your integrity on the line. Today, if I put a time, no, you will not tell me. Because I've learned from failing. I've learned that if I put a time to it, then I will do it. Now, I've learned not to just be lazing around until that time. I've now learned that to achieve the highest excellence I can achieve, I need to start taking baby steps. So put a time, schedule whatever you want to do. You know, I'm staying so long on this because many persons, this is fear. Many persons don't want to, they don't want to put a time. I will become a millionaire. Is that a goal? You should put, I will have 20 million naira by December 25. Schedule that time. You start thinking, you start taking action. I get what I'm trying to say. So what
Yeah.
number am I now?
You're on the sixth one.
All right, we are on the sixth one now. Number 6 is be bold, be brave, and be courageous. Be bold, be brave, and be courageous. You know, courage, I've said, is moving forward in spite of fear. And that will move me to number 7, action. Action. Just do it. Just do it. Just the same way we say, whoever has a question to ask, you know, there's someone here that may have a question and may not just want to ask. So, courage, boldness, these are the 6th and 7th things. And courage is not boldness. Courage is not boldness. Courage is not boldness. Boldness is doing it. Courage is doing it in spite of fear. You can be bold and not courageous. You can be bold and not courageous. So these are 7 different things. I think if you do it, you're going to do very, very well.
Wow. I think for most of the time while he was answering, I felt like standing up because that was how scared up I was. I'm very sure that we learned something today. I have another question, but I will not ask because time we are really exhausted in time, and I'm so grateful to our speaker for coming on this call, this live with us. Thank you so much, everybody that joined. Of course, we can't have a webinar session without you. Of course, I just want to say that why I assume you can't excel in multiple areas simultaneously. Like it's a question. Why do you assume that you cannot excel in multiple areas simultaneously? You are capable of excelling in various aspects of life. Your mindset definitely matters in all of this, in excellence. Your mindset matters. So start from the mind. Like our speaker says, be, do, have. Once you become, you start doing. Of course, you becoming would push you and give you the confidence, the boldness you need to start taking actions. And once you start taking actions, you will start receiving the benefits of those who take action. And believe that everything you put your hands to do will be excellent. With that belief, you can now take action on that. You have the capability to succeed in all of your endeavors. I'm really grateful to Coach Oluwatobi for doing this with us today. Sir, can you just tell us your handle? You don't worry, you don't need to put on your video. You can just tell us your handle so that we'll follow you. And anybody that comes across this video will definitely follow you.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Abiodun_Tobi. Tobiey. Abiodun_Tobi. Tobiey. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much actually for even the support and like before this webinar session and so now that you were saying I'll give you 7 principles, I'll give you 11 principles, I'll give he's just that kind of person, and I love the fact that we were able to do this today. Join us on another.
Let me thank you, please. All right, thank you so much for bringing me up. I'm so happy to have inspired a lot of persons today. I'm sure many persons will also come back to these videos to watch because I'll be telling them, go to this channel, check what I said on this place, check what I said here and all that. Thank you so much. You are someone I've really believed in. I'm so happy for where Seeding Impact Initiative is going to. I'm so happy. And I also want to review that you are my boss, I remember serving with you, and then you also helped me, understand many of these things, something like delegation and every of these things. I'm so happy and I'm so excited for what God is doing through you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is why we don't sometimes don't allow people to give last words. You'll just put you on the spot. But thank you so much. Join
Yeah,
us
thank you.
next week. Join us next week, same time. We'll be talking on personal branding because we've learned now that you have to market, you have to, know how to sell things for it to get sold. And next week, we're going to be talking on personal branding. Next week is a bonus session because this is supposed to be our last webinar session on this series.
Wow.
But I just said, why? Why do we have to even end it on this note? Let's talk about something for those who have graduated, finalists, and all of that, so that they will know how to better position themselves, brand themselves for the next phase of their lives. So, like, share, subscribe to this channel. You really need to share this with your friends because only you cannot be receiving all of this. It's not right. It's not right. Please share to your friends. Thank you so much, Coach
Let me
Toby.
let me tell them something, guys. Please ensure you go back to former videos, watch it, try to share with
Yeah.
someone, because every single time you share something with someone and the person is blessed, the person would always remember that you are the one who blessed. The person may not even remember the speaker, but surely the person will say, "This person shared it with me," and that way you have cheaply edged yourself in someone's relevance in life. So ensure that you share this thing with someone. I've shared on my own status. Go back to your status, share it with someone, share what you have learned, let someone know that you have added, and this is where it starts from. This is where the stepping out starts from. This is where the courage starts from. If you can do this, then you are courageous. If you can do this, then you are bold. If you can do this, then you are taking the first baby step. And this is something everyone should see. Everyone should see this session. All right. So ensure you share. Then don't just share, like this page, subscribe to this page, and tell everyone you're sharing with to also subscribe and like this page, because this is going to be something that will be global. I'm telling you, in just a very, very short time. So ensure that you do that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Coach Toby. We've actually
Yeah,
been
thank
following
you.
a sequence. We spoke about academic excellence, positioning for
Okay.
scholarship opportunities. Then we went to the
Wow.
academic environment. Now we are on finance and we are going to personal branding next week.
Wow.
You
This is
should
beautiful.
actually check out these videos and get the substance in these videos. So we've come to the end of this webinar session. We are so grateful that you joined. Catch us next week. Thank you.
Thank you.